This is our ocean. Vast, powerful, and essential. It covers more than 70% of our planet and supports every form of life on Earth. The ocean regulates our climate, provides food, and produces over half the oxygen we breathe. But beneath the surface, a growing challenge is spreading. A challenge created by us. Ocean pollution refers to the introduction of harmful substances into the sea. Plastics, chemicals, oils, and waste that disrupt the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. It's not limited to what we can see floating on the surface. Pollutants come from our homes, our farms, and our industries, carried by rivers and wind to the ocean's edge. Every year, more than 8 million tons of plastic enter the sea. Bottles, nets, packaging, breaking down into microscopic fragments that are impossible to remove. But plastic is only part of the problem. Agricultural runoff fuels toxic algal blooms, industrial waste poisons marine life, and oil spills stain coastlines for decades. No ocean, no matter how remote, is untouched. Pollution travels through currents, across borders, and into the food we eat. It threatens marine life, coastal communities, and the planet's stability as a whole. Ocean pollution is one of the defining challenges of our time, one that will shape the future of our environment, our health, and generations to come. The question is, how do we let it get this far, and what will it take to turn the tide?
When we think of ocean pollution, we think of plastic, beaches, buried in it, turtles, birds, whales, tangled, suffocating. Soon, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish, but that's only the surface. Carbon emissions don't just warm the air, they acidify our oceans, bleach our coral reefs, and melt the poles. The ocean swallows nearly a third of all human-made CO2. Oil spills coat every feather and scale, turning living ecosystems into blackened graveyards. A single litre of oil can contaminate 1 million litres of seawater. From the land, our chemicals flow. Fertilisers feed algal blooms that strip oxygen from the water, creating dead zones. Mercury, plastics, toxins, they build up in fish, and in us. We eat up to a credit card's worth of microplastics every week. When the sea is poisoned, livelihoods vanish. Fisheries collapse, coral tourism fades, and Indigenous and coastal communities lose identity and home. We are bound to the ocean, and when we poison it, we poison ourselves. The ocean is the planet's life support. It gives us oxygen, food, and stability. When it collapses, everything follows. Weather shifts, species vanish, and the balance of life unravels. Without a healthy ocean, there is no healthy planet.
Every year, billions of tons of plastic enter into the ocean from land-based sources. Estimates suggest between 4.8 and 12.7 million tons just from coastal countries in 2010 alone. But the good news is we already know the solutions and they start with us. Simple choices make a difference. Using refill stations, reusable bags, or compostable packaging can cut the plastic waste up to 40% when done collectively. Each refill, each reuse keep plastic from reaching the sea. Communities are stepping up, from park beach cleanups to the ocean cleanups, river barriers that stop plastic before it reaches the sea. Local innovation is making a global impact. Across the world, people are showing what's possible when we act together. These efforts build momentum and prove that change is doable. At the global scale, more than 170 countries have joined negotiations under the United Nations Environment Programme for a legally binding instrument on plastic pollution. Yet, as of August 2025, the talks at the session INC 5.2 in Geneva ended without agreement. While leaders continue to negotiate issues like production limits, harmful chemicals in plastic, and financing for developing countries, individual and local solutions remain more vital than ever. Apart from that, renewable energy and marine protected areas are restoring balance to our oceans.
Despite there being a variety of creative and innovative solutions to polluting practices, our current system is not compatible with them. Under capitalism, competition for profits drives production and decision-making rather than human need and sustainability. In Australia and across the world, people are facing cost of living pressures, making sustainable lifestyles a freedom to only a minority that can afford it. Global leaders and the ultra-rich show little commitment to sustainability, flying private jets, joyrides to space, and waging destructive wars, whilst ordinary people bear the cost of pollution and climate change. We need to fight to change production and the system, and put pressure on those hoarding wealth and resources rather than solely relying on individual actions for change. Australia has particularly despicable greenwashing efforts like net zero, whilst exporting mass amounts of CO2 and pouring billions into nuclear subs, border prisons, and approving new fossil fuel projects instead of investing in proven renewable energy solutions. Significant resistance to injustice throughout history and even recently is presenting us with another way to stop ocean pollution. Protests shift public opinion, disrupt the status quo, pressure governments to implement change, and even potentially empower people to collectively enact the large-scale changes themselves to create the system we need. A system run by ordinary people for ordinary people, harnessing ocean energy and the Earth's resources rather than pillaging and poisoning our planet.
We've seen the damage that ocean pollution can cause, but we've also seen the power of people coming together to make a difference. Across coastlines, communities are organising beach cleanups, removing tons of waste before it can ever return to the sea. Around the world, the movement to reduce, reuse, and recycle is growing stronger. A reminder that every small action matters when multiplied by millions. Renewable energy is helping reduce the pollution that once poured into our oceans from fossil fuels, and marine protected areas are giving ecosystems the place they need to heal and rebuild. Yet, living sustainably isn't always easy. The way our world is built, driven by profit and convenience, often makes the sustainable choice the hardest one to afford. But even in this, there is hope. Through awareness, through innovation, and through collective voices demanding change, we can shift priorities and prove that a healthy planet benefits us all. The challenge of ocean pollution isn't one nation's to solve. It belongs to everyone. When we act together, from global reforms to local choices, we can restore balance to the blue heart of our planet. The ocean has given us life, beauty, and connection. Now it asks for our protection. The future of our seas and ourselves depends on what we choose to do next.